a good deal of it, make a good meal of it, stick to your old-fashioned beer. Now don't be afraid of it, drink till you're made of it. Now all together a cheer.
And a happy day to you all once again. This is Mark, your one-take beer reviewer, the guy who goes on and on about Chicago's beer scene at beeronaut.com. And yes, we had another snowfall today. Spent the day out shoveling and de-icing, and then I tried to put some more weather strip on the door from this basement to the garage because there's still a draft coming in. A little more successful about that, but there's still some cold air blowing through, and the beer cellar is way too cold because it's an unheated part of the house that's actually under the front steps. So I just kept the door closed and came out here to the regular part of the basement to talk about another beer that has been sent to me for my comment. This was sent to me in August or so, or I think it was bottled in August. But anyway, this is from New Holland Brewing of Holland, Michigan. It is their Dragon's Milk Bourbon Barrel Aged Ale. This has been one of their standbys. I last had this in the year 2011, and I don't think they mentioned bourbon barreling, just that it was aged on oak. And also, I believe I was at their original New Holland Brew Pub in downtown Holland back about 2004, 2005 or so, I believe. And at that time, it looked like any average college bar, if the college was a Dutch Reform type college. But anyway, very tidy, that is, very neat and polite and well-mannered, that sort of thing. But anyway, while we're dealing in stereotypes, I'm sorry about that. Let's just go on to talk about the beer. Brewed and bottled by roasted malt delivers notes of coffee and chocolate married with sweet undertones of vanilla and oak from a 3-month stay in bourbon barrels. So they're not saying what brand of bourbon. I suspect they source them as they can get them because they try to keep this going a lot for a longer period of time, maybe even year-round with special variations. So anyway, let's get into it. All right. Well, no gusher. That's always a good start. But let's do our little pour here in front of the camera. So the pour is a little more porter brown-ish than dark like a stout. We can see it does have a nice layer, parfait thickness layer of brown foam kicking up here. Once it's in the glass, it's pretty hard to see through. And it has a little more active Imperial Stout smell to it. I am getting a little bit of vanilla and coffee, and but it's a little more lively, I think, than some of the heavier bourbon barrel-aged stouts. For an 11% alcohol beer, this is a little more light. It's still kind of fizzy, which sometimes that goes away. And this hasn't aged too much yet. I know I got it back in the fall, but as promised, the malt notes of chocolate and coffee are coming through, and it's picking up some of the bourbon character here. So yes, your tip for today is your barrel-aged beer should go in a nice little snifter, so you can get your snoot in there and get a nice feel for the aromas. But yeah, this is a little more fizzy and bubbly than most barrel-aged stouts, and that kind of helps make it a little bit different. It's rather cheery, in fact. It's not thick and oily like some high alcohol beers, so it kind of stays a little light on the tongue. There's going to be an aftertaste of the roast malts to it. But nice to have and nice to compare with other bourbon barrel-aged beers. So definitely putting that on your recommendation. This is the Dragon's Milk from New Holland Brewing of Holland, Michigan. And this is Mark, your one-take beer reviewer, the guy at beeronaut.com saying salute.
Now don't